I worked inside the conventional medical system. I was a registered nurse. I followed the protocols. I really believed in the science, and I thought I was part of something that helped people heal. But then I became the patient, and everything that I thought I knew was turned completely upside down. This is the story of why I walked away from my career in conventional medicine. Not because I stopped caring about health, but because I finally understood what healing really takes, and I realized we were missing the mark. And if you've ever felt dismissed, overlooked, or told that everything looks normal while your body is screaming otherwise, I think this story will hit home for you. I started my career like a lot of young nurses. I was passionate, I was incredibly hardworking, and I was 100% sold on the idea that medicine was the answer. I worked long shifts, I followed evidence-based guidelines. I was very proud of what I did. I loved my job, and I never questioned the system until my own health started falling apart. It started really subtly. It was fatigue that I couldn't shake, sleeping all night and waking up utterly exhausted, skin issues that didn't make sense, brain fog, talking on the phone to my sister and forgetting what I had told her. I told myself I was just a tired mom. I pushed through it. But then one morning I woke up and I couldn't see my ankles. I was rushed to the ER. I knew it was serious. Hours and hours and lots of tests later, the doctors told me that I was in heart failure. No explanation why. They had no answers. They had no plan. And honestly, they had no real curiosity to figuring out what was going on. And when one of them came in my room and said, well, if you were in your 70s, I'd just send you home to manage it until you die, something inside of me broke. That was the moment I realized this system is not going to save me. I was trained to believe in tests, in labs, in medications, but when they couldn't explain what was happening to me or how to fix it, I had to look elsewhere. I started asking different questions. Why is my body reacting this way? What is underneath these symptoms? I was a healthy young mom. How in the heck did I end up in heart failure? What if this isn't dysfunction? What if it's intelligent communication? I learned about the body's drainage funnel, about toxins, about parasites, about mold, about mitochondria, about nervous system dysregulation. I realized that healing doesn't happen in the presence of fear, suppression, and symptom chasing. It happens when we support the terrain, the internal environment that determines whether we thrive or we deteriorate. I still remember the day that I went to a natural health practitioner and my husband and I were driving home. We had to drive 3 hours every week just to see this guy. And I turned to my husband, and as if a light bulb had just come on, I had the realization, we don't have to fear disease anymore. It was like this whole new world opened up to me. And I realized that the body was made to heal itself. It was designed to heal. We didn't have to be afraid of disease anymore. We actually had control. We had choices. There was no more fearing disease. I could not fathom why we hadn't ever been taught any of this in nursing school. When this was out there and people knew it, why had we not been shown this science? Leaving conventional medicine was not easy. It meant walking away from a secure career, from colleagues I loved, and from a system I once believed so strongly in. But it also meant walking towards something better, towards real healing, towards root cause answers, a life that's vibrant, sustainable, and mine again. I didn't walk away out of anger. I walked away because I could no longer participate in a system that chases symptoms while ignoring the underlying reason why. It took me down a winding path of trial and error. So many different modalities of healing. I became certified in many of those. I studied others and I consumed everything I possibly could get my hands on, dove down those rabbit holes of research, and thanks to my own health journey, it led me to become the guide that I wished I had when I was sick. So now, for the women that I serve, I come from a place of conventional medicine and natural health and being the patient. Now women don't have to go down the same path I did, full of frustration, trial, error, tens of thousands of dollars wasted on trying to figure it out. There is a clear path, a condensed version of what actually moved the needle in my own healing journey. It's my mission to share this and guide other women so they don't have to struggle. Every day I hear from women who feel like they're doing everything right. They're eating clean, they're taking supplements, they're exercising, and still feeling worse. When I was trying to piece together my own healing journey for myself, I remember I had an entire notebook full of notes from all my reading and research everywhere. I had 2-page lists of supplements written down that everyone claimed would heal what was happening in my body. I went on a super restrictive candida diet to try and calm that red, flaming rash that I had under my arms. It prevented me from even lifting my arms without pain. And every day, I remind them of what I had to learn the hard way. Your body is not broken. You are not lazy, and it's not just your hormones or you're just getting older. The system might not see what's really going on, but that doesn't mean it's not real. Trust me, I was dismissed by so many doctors in my quest to find healing. I was laughed at, I was mocked. It's an awful feeling, but I promise you're not crazy. If this story resonates with you, if you've ever felt unseen or unheard by your doctor in your healing journey, I want you to see the full picture of what happened next.